Chapter 6, Section 6, Quadratic Inequalities. So in this section, we're going to be dealing with inequalities instead of equations. So how are you going to solve these inequalities? First thing you're going to do is you're going to use the factoring method. And when the problem gets down to the zero product property, you're going to find the numbers that will make the problem equal to 0. Then you're going to graph these numbers on a number line, and then the number line should be divided into 3 sections because you should get two solutions from up here. Choose a number from each section and substitute the number into the problem to decide which set of numbers will make the inequalities true. And then you're going to look at the graph. You should be able to tell if you have a conjunction or a disjunction and write your answer in interval notation. Alright, so here we have it. You have x squared plus 3x minus 54 is less than 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to factor this. And so we're going to have x and x plus and minus, and then we have to think what can we multiply together to get 54, but add together to get 3, and I'm thinking 9 and negative 6. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into equations. So you're going to have x plus 9 is equal to 0 and x minus 6 is equal to 0. And so you're going to have x is equal to negative 9 and x is equal to 6. Now these are just boundaries. So you have one at negative 9 and you have one at 6. They're just boundaries. They're not your solution because x cannot be equal to these two numbers because of the less than symbol. And so we have to figure out, are we going to have a conjunction or a disjunction? These are just boundaries. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose basically test points, test numbers in each one of the quadrants. So you're going to choose a number less than negative 9, let's say negative 10. You're going to choose a number between negative 9 and 6, which the easiest one I think is 0. And then you're going to choose a number greater than 6, which I'm going to say 7. And I'm going to test each one of these numbers to see if it makes my inequality true or false. So let's come up here. We'll have x squared plus 3x minus 54 less than 0. And the first number I'm going to plug in is a negative 10. So I have negative 10 squared plus 3 times negative 10 minus 54 less than 0. 10 squared is 100. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30 minus 54 less than 0. And I think you're going to get a positive number. 100 minus 30 minus 54 gives us a positive number, so you get 16 less than 0. So that's false. So we know that that's not true. So let's try 0. If we plug 0 in, we're going to get 0 squared plus 3 times 0, which is going to be 0, minus 54 less than 0. So you're going to get negative 54 less than 0. That's true. And so since this one checks out, I'm going to guess that that one doesn't check out, but I'll go ahead and prove it to you. So you have 7 squared plus 3 times 7 minus 54 less than 0. So you're going to have 49 plus 21 minus 54, and you're going to get a positive number. So you have 49 plus 21 minus 54 is going to be 16 less than 0, which is false. So that one's not going to work either. So your solution is actually going to be from negative 9, not including, so we're going to use a parenthesis. Cannot be included because I know that because of the inequality. So you're going to have from negative 9 to 6, not including. So basically it looks like this. And so there's your solution. Any number from negative 9 to 6 will work. Alright, so let's try again. Let's factor. And so we're going to have x and x. Signs are going to be different. What can I multiply together to get negative 21, but add together to get 4? I'm thinking 7 and negative 3. So we're going to have x plus 7 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0. And so we'll have x is equal to negative 7 and x is equal to 3. Again, these are just boundaries. So we're going to have one at negative 7 and one at 3. So let's choose numbers. Of course, here I'm going to choose 0. Here we're going to use negative 8, and here we're going to use 4. And those numbers are totally up to you. You don't have to use these numbers. These are just the numbers that I chose. Alright, so let's try negative 8 first. So we'll have negative 8 squared plus 4 times negative 8 minus 21. And we want to know, is that greater than or equal to 0? So negative 8 squared is going to be 64. 4 times negative 8 is going to be negative 32 minus 21. Greater than or equal to 0. And I think I'm going to get a negative number. Let's try though. We have 64 minus 32. 64 minus 32 minus 21. Nope, we get a positive 11. 11 is greater than or equal to 0, so that does make it true. It's actually greater than 0. So this one's good. Let's try 0 and see what happens. We're going to have 0 plus 4 times 0, that's squared, minus 21 greater than or equal to 0. So you get negative 21 greater than or equal to 0, which is false. So I know that that one's not going to work. So I know that I am going to have a disjunction. So this time, since we have the equal sign there as well, we're going to use brackets, and it's going to be a disjunction, so the graphs are going to go away from each other like this. And so we're going to have from negative infinity to negative 7 including union, pick back up at 3 and go to positive infinity. And so there's your solution. Alright, so let's try this one. On this one, let's see. In order to solve this, we have a proportion here, so let's see if we can cross multiply. So if I go this way, I'm going to have 3x minus 12 less than or equal to x plus 2. And I don't even have a quadratic here, which is kind of funny, so this takes us back to chapter 2. So we'll have minus x from both sides. And so we'll have 2x, and if we add 12 to both sides, we'll have 2x is less than or equal to 14, divide by 2, x less than or equal to 7, and so that is your solution. You can put it on a number line if you want to. It is going to be equal to, and x has to be less than, so it's going to go this way. So your solution is going to be from negative infinity to 7. Alright. So I'd like you to try these 4 numbers on page 335. Bring them into class if you have any questions.